In this captivating video, we delve into a chilling historical event that took place over a century ago. Join us as we uncover the story of Samuel Smith, a modest shoemaker who unknowingly became a part of history on a cold winter's night. As he made his way home, a colossal war machine, filled with hydrogen, loomed above him. Little did he know that this German Zeppelin would forever change his life. Witness the tragic events that unfolded that fateful night, as Samuel Smith tragically became the first British civilian to lose his life in a Zeppelin raid. Through compelling visuals and detailed narration, we bring this forgotten tale to light, shedding light on the impact of war on innocent lives. Before we dive into today's topic, we wanted to kindly ask for your support. If you enjoy our content, we'd really appreciate it if you could give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. It means the world to us. Okay, let's now dive into our subject. On the 7th of January 1915, the Kaiser of Germany made the decision to authorize the aerial bombardment of the United Kingdom, concerned about the safety of his relatives in Buckingham Palace. The Kaiser initially prohibited the bombing of London. However, he eventually relented and permitted the bombing of London's docks. Rather than targeting London directly, the Zeppelins of the German Army and Navy were instructed to attack industrial, military, and civilian sites in other regions of the country. The objective was to disrupt British armaments production and instill fear in the British public, ultimately pressuring their government to withdraw from the war. On the morning of January 19th, the initial Zeppelins, L3 and L4, departed from their base in Fuhlsbüttel, Hamburg. Originally intending to target the ports of Hull and Grimsby, unfavorable weather conditions necessitated a change of plans. Consequently, the airships redirected their course towards the Norfolk coast, while L3 veered towards the coastal town of Great Yarmouth. L4 made its way to the town of King's Lynn, around 9 p.m. L3 arrived over Great Yarmouth and released 10 bombs over the working-class area of St. Peter's Plain. Tragically, Samuel Smith suffered a fatal injury when a bomb struck the house he happened to be passing by, resulting in his decapitation. Another casualty of the raid was Martha Taylor, a 73-year-old resident of a terraced house in St. Peter's Plain. The explosion caused extensive damage, shattering windows and demolishing walls and roofs in the vicinity. L3 wreaked havoc in the skies of Great Yarmouth, while L4 made its way to King's Lynn, and in this town, the destructive airship claimed the lives of Alice Gazeley, a 26-year-old widow, and Percy Goat, a 14-year-old boy. Additionally, 16 individuals sustained injuries during the raids, and the total damage amounted to £7,000. Despite the airship's failure to hit their intended targets due to adverse weather conditions, subsequent attempts to bomb Britain faced obstacles such as unfavorable weather and enemy fire, resulting in the downing of an airship on the continent. It wasn't until fateful raids were carried out on Ipswich, Southend, Dover, and Ramsgate, claiming the lives of 6 more individuals. LZ-38, the first Zeppelin to reach and bomb the British capital, accomplished this feat on the night of May 30th. The airship unleashed a payload of 3,000 pounds of bombs upon the London boroughs of Stoke Newington, Stepney, and Leytonstone. The impact of the attack was profound, as terrified citizens hastily fled from their beds and flooded the streets with shrieks of terror. This occurrence became so frequent that specialized nighttime air raid attire was swiftly introduced to the market, particularly targeting women who sought to preserve their dignity while seeking refuge. Tragically, the initial raid on London claimed the lives of 7 individuals and caused extensive damage amounting to over £18,000. In the summer of 1915, the raids were somewhat alleviated due to better weather conditions that prevented Zeppelins from hiding behind clouds. However, there was one notable exception in August when 3 airships attempted to raid London. While 2 airships turned back due to mechanical issues, one continued its course, mistakenly believing that he was over Woolwich. The captain of the Zeppelin dropped his bombs on the town of Ashford in Kent. As autumn arrived, the Germans launched further raids, targeting towns like Broxbourne in Hertfordshire and Dereham in Norfolk. Tragically, during one of these raids, a shopkeeper named James Taylor from Dereham had stepped out to post a letter when the Zeppelin unleashed its bombs on Church Street. His wife Clara and son Percy would never see him alive again. In London, significant landmarks such as the Lyceum Theatre and Liverpool Street Station suffered damage. Throughout 1915, a total of 20 raids occurred, resulting in the loss of 181 lives. By the end of 1915, Britain's defenses against airships began to improve. Searchlights and gun emplacements started appearing all over the country. The Royal Flying Corps equipped their fighter planes with explosive and incendiary bullets capable of penetrating the outer skins of airships and igniting the hydrogen inside. In response to this new threat, the Germans introduced the Q-class Zeppelin, which had a higher payload capacity and could reach altitudes beyond the reach of the planes. During the night of February 31st to March 1st, a total of 9 airships departed from Germany and set course for Liverpool. Fortunately, a combination of adverse weather conditions, navigational difficulties, and mechanical malfunctions caused the Zeppelins to scatter across the skies of the Black Country in the West Midlands. As a result, bombs were dropped on the towns of Tipton, Walsall, and Wednesbury, leading to a tragic loss of 61 lives. Among the victims was the Lady Mayoress of Walsall, who suffered severe injuries when the tram she was traveling on was directly hit. Due to the unfavorable weather conditions, no further raids took place until the end of March. At that time, a fleet of 10 airships embarked on a mission to attack targets in London and the eastern region. However, mechanical failures once again forced most of the Zeppelins to turn back. Nevertheless, one airship managed to drop a single bomb on an army billet in the coastal town of Cleethorpes, Lincolnshire, resulting in the unfortunate deaths of 31 soldiers. The raids persisted throughout 1916, with the majority of the Zeppelins failing to reach their intended targets. Instead, bombs were indiscriminately unloaded on various villages and towns in the northeast and Scotland whenever weather conditions prevented the airships from reaching London and the naval base of Rosyth. Areas such as Deptford, Plumstead, Greenwich, and Eltham were struck, resulting in 9 fatalities and causing property damage amounting to over £130,000. On the night of September 2nd to 3rd, the largest raid to date took place, with 16 airships setting off for London. Unfavorable weather conditions in the North Sea caused the vessels to scatter, resulting in only 2 Army Zeppelins dropping their payloads on the villages of London Colney and South Mimms. Among the group of airships, SL-11 descended to a lower altitude to improve visibility, but was soon detected by searchlights and pursued by fighter planes. Lieutenant William Leff Robinson, one of the pilots, managed to score a direct hit, causing the Zeppelin to crash in a spectacular fireball near the village of Cuffley in Hertfordshire. Robinson was awarded the Victoria Cross for bringing down the first enemy airship on British soil. The loss of SL-11 proved to be the final straw for the German army, leading them to withdraw their ships from bombing raids. However, the Navy continued their attacks throughout the remainder of 1916, targeting various locations in London, the Midlands, and the Northeast. By the end of that year, a total of 23 raids had claimed the lives of 293 individuals and injured 691, resulting in the downing of 6 airships. At this point in the war, the British had developed strategies to intercept the airships' radio communications and were becoming more proficient in hunting them down. In 1917, the Germans recognized the need to address the heightened threat to their Zeppelins, having suffered significant losses the previous year. To counter this new challenge, they reduced the weight of the airships to increase their altitude capabilities, and resumed raids in March. However, the first raid of the year was foiled by strong winds, and one of the Zeppelins was brought down by French troops as it ventured into enemy territory over a battlefield. A second raid only resulted in the bombing of a small village in Suffolk, claiming the life of 1 person. In June, a naval battery in Ramsgate was targeted by a 6th Zeppelin raid, which proved to be more successful. However, once again, one of the airships was brought down by 2 fighter planes near the village of Theberton in Suffolk. As the war progressed, it became increasingly evident that the losses incurred against the advancing defenses were unsustainable. Purpose-built bombers had been effectively deployed against targets in Folkestone and London, resulting in the loss of nearly 200 lives and causing extensive damage. These aircraft were less prone to mechanical failures and less affected by adverse weather conditions. Moreover, they were significantly less vulnerable to enemy attacks compared to the enormous, highly flammable gas-filled Zeppelins. The days of the Zeppelin raids were clearly numbered. The final raid occurred on August 25, 1918. 4 Zeppelins set out to bomb targets in the North and the Midlands but encountered dense cloud cover in the North Sea, causing them to lose their way. One of the airships was intercepted and shot down by aircraft from the Royal Flying Corps. The remaining 3 Zeppelins dropped their bombs harmlessly into the sea. With this ultimate failure, the era of Zeppelin raids came to an end. 557 individuals lost their lives due to the Zeppelin raids, despite the relatively low casualty count and minimal damage to critical infrastructure. These attacks deeply unsettled the general public and shook those in power. The concept of terror from above became a harsh reality. War was no longer a distant occurrence. It could now strike any British village, town, or city. 2 decades later, this notion was further reinforced as the skies over Europe became filled with bombers. Although the Zeppelins themselves were not particularly effective, they set the stage for the atrocities that would follow. From that point onward, nobody could consider themselves truly safe. We wrap up our discussion for now, but don't worry, there's more exciting content coming your way. Join us in our next video as we delve into new topics and explore fascinating subjects. Until then, thank you for watching and we'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye for now. We delve into the depths of extensive research and invest a significant amount of time to bring you valuable information. Our relentless dedication and hard work are aimed at delivering a high-quality outcome. We kindly request your support in our journey by liking, subscribing, and sharing our content. Your encouragement fuels our motivation to continue producing informative videos. Join us in our pursuit of knowledge and help us make a difference. Thank you for your support.